I don't know.
It's a show, guys.
Yeah, it's a show. Everybody get excited.
It's a show about 3 friends from Granite City who like video games. And one of them is missing. I'm sorry. Everybody's disappointed.
I am. I'm very disappointed.
Darren's eating his din-din soon.
Din-din.
And Davo, can I even say what you're doing tonight?
Technically, you're not supposed to, but nobody listens anyway.
Like, could I say? Oh, I mean, I could say that, like, what the not specifics, but generally, right?
Yeah.
So you're game testing tonight.
Yes.
How lucky are you? That's like every kid's dream.
It's pretty cool. That's how I bought this monitor and a graphics card.
Play video games for sort of a living?
I wish.
Well, Dava, so there's a bunch of stuff I wanted to talk about this week. If you are on the YouTube page, what I'm going to do is I'm going to post pretty much a permanent Discord. If you ever want to get on the YouTube page, you'll be able to basically check out the Discord channel for the headlines and stuff. Actually, I'm not going to do that. Never mind. I'm going to work on that. I need to edit the permissions.
Never mind.
Never mind, because otherwise everybody will be able to post there. But
I like the name of the podcast, All the News.
All the news.
There's been some news.
No. Yeah, there's been a little bit of news, guys. So I don't know. What do you think is the best story to start out with here, buddy?
Let's go ahead and start off what I think is boring as fuck. Let's talk about the Apple announcement.
Oh, okay.
And that's all you, because I didn't read into that stuff because I am not an Apple user. I'm not.
Well, the reason
I'm not from Portland and I'm not made of money. So
the reason why I thought it was relevant is I think the smartphone stuff is relevant to gaming in general.
It looks like it's just ripping off the S8 Plus from this picture with the ugly thing on top.
Smartphones increasingly are, more relevant to gaming. A lot of people, that's the only way they play games, especially younger kids. So that's why I think it's relevant.
No, I didn't think it wasn't relevant. I get what you're saying.
Yeah, but, some people might wonder. And I think also, it's kind of pushing mobile technology. And what you end up with is something like the Nintendo Switch. So it's worth paying attention to, I think, if you're interested in games and technology. Might as well, right?
The Dolphin emulator can run on the S8 Plus. It's pretty.
I saw in the Play Store there's like an NES emulator that will actually cast the game to your Chromecast, and then you use your smartphone as a controller.
That kind of sucks. But I have a Chromecast.
Well, for somebody who doesn't have all that stuff, though, that's kind of sweet.
I don't know, dude. Like younger kids, they can maneuver them touch controls. I've seen it in action, and I'm like, I tried to play Mega Man 2 on an iPhone a billion years ago. No.
Yeah. So, anyway, so Apple had their event this week. It was the first Apple event from the new Steve Jobs Theater in Apple's rumored to be $5 billion campus. It was. Did you watch the stream at all?
No.
Oh, and Darren should be joining us, so this is probably the topic he'd really like to talk about, by the way.
Well, that's what you get for eating din-din.
But we can come back to some of this when he joins us.
Yeah, and that's when I'll tag out and I'll go sleep in my hammock. And
yeah, we'll break it down and do some our opinions, I suppose, on the Apple things that were announced a little bit later. I'll save my opinions for when Darren joins us. But they announced a new Apple TV that's going to be a 4K player, where it's going to play 4K content. It's not a physical player, but it's going to play 4K digitally.
I still think buying movies digitally is weird. I know games I'm not as about, but like movies seem weird. I don't know. But hey, whatever floats your boat.
It's pretty cool. So that's a big plus for anybody that's into the Apple TV ecosystem or was looking to join in. They also announced a new version of the Apple Watch with built-in cellular functionality. I really liked that. We'll talk about that later. They also announced an iPhone 8 with a better camera, of course, a better processor, a better display, some cool lighting effects for camera shots.
That beautiful closed system.
Oh, yeah. Well, if you're talking about Apple, you shouldn't be surprised. We're 10 years into the iPhone, damn it. It shouldn't shock anybody at this point.
I don't really do anything. I did a few things on my old S4, but on this phone, I haven't done anything. So this is, I don't know. It is what it is.
The reality is most content these days is going to be internet content anyways, you know?
Yeah.
So most of the stuff you want to do, you could probably do through a website, whatever you want to watch or whatever, you know?
True.
And then the grand finale, the one more thing moment, they announced the iPhone 10, which is not the iPhone X, even though it's spelled out iPhone X. It's the 10th anniversary, and it basically looks like a Galaxy phone, except for it has a very large cutout of the screen missing, which not a big fan of that. It looks ridiculous.
It doesn't look very good, but hey, whatever.
Yeah, if you hold this phone sideways, it totally kills the effect of having this immersive full screen display that, you know, takes up the whole front of the camera and has minimal bezels, because now you have this giant, it seems like a giant bezel on the left-hand side if you're holding it that way. And all of that is reserved, of course, for the sensors and stuff, which they're showing off facial recognition and facial unlocking. That's cool. It's a little gimmicky for now, but yeah, so that's what Apple announced. There's no home button on the new iPhone.
Oh, man.
And I think this is the year they're kind of segueing. The iPhone 10 is what they pretty much are going to do for every year here on out as the standard iPhone.
Kind of sounds like they're just trying to catch up with Samsung.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, Samsung makes the displays. You know, Apple does not design and build its own displays. And this is true always. And this is true for a lot of devices that they pay, you know, one of the few big 2 or 3 display makers to make their panels. And Samsung's the ones that were basically inventing this kind of technology to do these displays. So, you know, it's also an OLED display in the iPhone 10.
Oh, wow. It's kind of late to the party.
Yeah,
Sorry, maybe I should... I'm going to turn the hater off.
You can save that for when Darren gets here and ruffle his feathers.
I don't know. I think it's just a status quo thing. Like, look at me. I got money. I have an Apple. But that's my opinion.
All right. Well, we'll wait. I'm going to wait for Darren. Got a good thought on that. But anyway.
I know they do I know they do the same things, but it's just like you're paying more.
Well, here, let's be gaming relevant. So one thing that they are actually pioneering here in terms of mobile, I'd say, is the AR content, the augmented reality. They showed this off a little bit. Apple has baked into every iPhone now through iOS the AR kit, which is their development platform for AR apps. And AR, if you don't understand what that is, it's basically using your phone's camera to, you know, show you the real world around you and placing, you know,
Pokemon Go.
Yeah, Pokemon Go, placing objects, you know, in the real world using your camera's phone or your phone's camera and a bunch of sensors and stuff. So I'm generally not very impressed with anything AR on a small screen. Microsoft's HoloLens was also an AR platform. I think that was much more interesting because it's more immersive that way. When you're looking through the window of a tiny screen, you know, it doesn't feel like, wow, the world around me is transformed, you know. What's up? What's Steph got some feedback for us? No,
she's getting ready to leave.
Oh, okay.
See you later.
peace out.
See you later.
So I don't know. They showed off a game that actually, I mean, it looked all right. It looked a little bit more interesting than your typical mobile game. But you've got this giant kind of platform set up like a table. And as you're looking through the phone, you can see this big game table set up, or a big game environment. You know, and as you move around, sound effects will change and your perception, and, you know, things will get bigger as you move closer to the objects that are on this table and such. It looks cool, but I'm not going to play my games that way. I'm not going to buy an iPhone for that. I think there's still some potential with the AR stuff. You know, for example, there's one app where you can measure the square footage of your room just by looking through your iPhone's camera and just kind of drawing the line along the walls, and move your phone around, and it will tell you how much space you've measured. So there's a lot of cool possibilities with AR, but got a long way to go. And Apple did not focus that much on the AR stuff. So I don't know. That was about the news from the event. Any thoughts on the news besides commentary or anything I missed? Probably not, right?
I'm sure it's a fine product. I'm not even being sarcastic. I'm sure it's nice.
So we'll come back to that a little bit later when Darren joins us. One thing I wanted to bring up, but this is kind of a minor story. We'll knock out some of these that I don't think Darren will be that interested in. And watch. Maybe he won't be able to join us even. And so, yeah. I don't know if we need to save stories. Just before this, go ahead.
Well, they're going to be putting out more NES classics in 2018.
Yes, that is the story. Will that be the reality?
No. I'm sure you'll have trouble finding them. Oh, Reggie said that you should not be paying over $80 for the SNES Classic, the Super NES Classic.
I wonder why he said that. Does he realize that just him being confident in their ability to?
They're supposed to be making more. I don't know. That'd be nice because I wouldn't mind having a small Super NES. Actually, I wouldn't mind having a small Famicom. Those things look pretty tight, but whatever.
That would be really cool if they sold that here, since we didn't get it.
You got to import them, but like a Super Famicom. What sucks about them is the controllers are actually hardwired, like the original consoles. So just think how short them wires were.
Oh my god. I've never played my NES Classic because the damn controller cable is so short.
Steph bought me a wireless controller. I've only played Metroid on it. It's really hard for me to play on it because, like I was telling most people that were like, oh, I didn't get one. I'm like, your phone can play these games, but, you know. So I have a lot of stuff already on a PC, and I can, you know, use Game Genie codes and really have fun with it and do a bunch of... But I don't know. It's mainly just cool to have a little tiny Super NES, I guess, or NES chilling under the old TV.
It was fun for my wife for one weekend.
Playing that Kirby.
Yeah.
And another thing, most of them games I own on like Virtual Console on the Wii and the Wii U already.
Oh, well, don't have access to that anymore, do you?
Yeah, I have a Wii U hooked up to my TV, and the Wii's on there with all the Virtual Console games.
It's just funny that if you've, you know, let's say you've sold your older console to be able to afford the Switch. Well,
don't even start talking about it. I don't know why they just don't have it unified since fucking 2006. I wouldn't have had to, you know, go on the Wii and emulate on my Wii U and emulate a Wii, because that's what it basically does, and you can play your Virtual Console games and shit on that you bought on the Wii. But whatever. Nintendo needs to be more like Apple, I guess, and forward thinking. I don't know. You know, didn't they change it where 32-bit apps won't even run anymore on their newer OSs?
For iOS?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't think that was an issue. You know, like it was super easy to port that over. There's definitely an incentive to port it over, you know?
I think a lot of games are gone, though, I'm reading, because the developers didn't port them over. So
there's just so much shit on all of the app or the phones,
Oh
like the
yeah.
App Store and the Google Play Store. Good Lord.
Oh, I'm not gonna lie. I will say the Google Play Store is much worse.
Yeah, it's not very good still.
It's not regulated, so
I mean, there's just so much trash on there. I don't know.
but
Yeah, they had an issue a while back where they booted out a bunch of apps that were basically stealing people's information. It's absurd that could even happen.
well,
And there's so much good stuff too on these app stores. Apple does a good job of filtering through things and at least highlighting things that are worth your attention. Um, they're good at curating their store. Like this Bethesda pinball app for Google Play. Skyrim, Fallout, and Doom pinball. I had no idea this existed. That sounds
is
pretty
it
fun.
is it official?
Yeah,
That might be cool to mess with.
it's got a pretty low
Speaking
rating.
of Bethesda, Doom on the Switch and
Yeah.
Wolfenstein, the newer one on Switch.
So it's the
That
new Doom and the newest Wolfenstein that's coming out, or the current
the
Wolfenstein?
the Wolfenstein that's getting ready to come out, but it won't come out until next year.
Both of them, right?
But Doom 2016, I want to see what it runs at. I want to see they got to get it at 60 FPS, or at least I know on the consoles they use dynamic resolution. Both Wolfenstein does too. I mean, what a surprise! They're not going to stay at 1080p playing 60 frames. Maybe the Pro.
Yeah, I'm really intrigued by that too to see how they run because damn, the Switch. I mean, we've talked about it before. It struggles a little bit.
She's not a beast.
Strangely, I don't know what this means, but I was watching somebody else play Breath of the Wild on their television with their Switch, and it seemed to run a lot better. I don't know if that was just the moment I was in where I thought, man, the frame rate's pretty good.
Well, they did update it. I mean, like do some patches. It should run better.
I played last night, and I don't know if it's just because I'm the one playing it, but I could certainly notice some
I'm
slowdowns.
gonna keep it real. You're probably used to like 60 and above by now. Like my coworker wanted to play GTA 5. I have it on the PS4, and I was like, I'll play it with you. That game does not look good at 30 frames. It's not very smooth looking. It's hard to explain. I don't know if they don't use any motion blur, but shit looks rough after playing games at like 60 and stuff and above. But I don't know. Darren just joined.
Oh, cool. Hey, Darren, what's up?
Not much. What's going on?
Well, we just talked about the Apple News all of the things that they announced.
Oh.
So we were saving our analysis for you since I figured you had the most kind of thoughts on it.
You're the Apple fan.
I'm really excited for that Apple TV.
Yeah.
I'm going to pre-order it tonight. I'm going to do that. And I do the Apple phone payment plan so I can upgrade my phone this year if I want to.
Oh, nice.
So I already signed up for an 8 Plus.
8 Plus. Now,
Yeah.
what was so the deal is it's pretty much the Apple lease program where you have your phone for a year, you're making a monthly payment, but you don't necessarily own it.
Yeah, so it's 24 payments. You can upgrade to the next phone after 12 payments. Like if you just want to have the new phone, you can keep it going. But yeah, it's like a lease program. You don't own it until basically you pay it off. So if you make 2 years of payments, then it's your phone.
And most carriers do this kind of unofficially anyway.
Pretty much. It doesn't sound
they started doing that. Yeah, because they stopped doing that subsidized 2-year thing. But yeah, this is through Apple. You basically turn in your old phone, and they basically excuse all of the remaining payments after a year. So it's pretty seamless. I just went on the app. I got pre-approved for the next loan, and then tonight I just need to. I already told him what phone I wanted. I guess tonight I just log in and hit an OK button.
What did you go with? What color and everything?
I like the gray. I got the gray, 64 gigs. This one I have now is 128, but I'm only using like 30 gigs worth. So I went for the 64, and my monthly payment will actually go down a few bucks. So that'll be cool.
And what was so? Not to put you on blast here, but can you tell us how much your monthly payment will be?
Like $38.
That's not bad at all. That's pretty much what I'm paying.
Yeah,
it's pretty standard for most flagship phones, I'd say.
Yeah, like right now I'm paying like 42, and that's for the extra space. And X would have been like $50.
Yeah.
So I legitimately thought about it, but then I was like, they'll probably like move a lot of those features into the like, I guess, step below the flagship model in the future. So I'll just get it then. So the 8, I was like, well, yeah, I might as well just keep this going. I wasn't like totally blown away, but I did like the wireless charging thing, and the faster processor. Because everything else, like you do the side-by-side comparison on the Apple website, those are pretty much the major differences between the 7 Plus and the 8 Plus. But so yeah, I pay that. I pay like, it'll be like 38 for the 64 gigabyte, and then you pay Verizon for access to the network.
Yeah, so I think it makes sense if you're on a program like that and you don't want to pay off your phone in the next year or whatever, then why not go with it? That's kind of what I did with the Samsung phone. Verizon has a similar thing where you can always get the new iPhone or always get the new Galaxy phone. So
yeah, if you like, if you like having the new phone, then it makes sense, because you end up, it's a lot cheaper to do it this way because you don't have to buy a new phone every year and then turn around and sell it after a year. And then this way, the 2 years of Apple Care is included. So like, if I hurt my phone, I can just go have it fixed.
Yeah, that's pretty nice.
Yeah.
And then we didn't mention that the Apple 4K Apple TV, the great feature is, of course, it's playing 4K content, but they announced that they're going to not charge you an upcharge for buying 4K movies from them. And they're going to upgrade anything in your library to 4K automatically. So that's awesome.
Yeah, that was pretty awesome. I actually bought Baby Driver last night because I hadn't bought a movie on there yet. I have one of the 4th gen Apple TVs, like just the 1080p unit that I've had for a little while. And it's nice. Like something Davo mentioned before, and I kind of agree, like the nice thing about owning movies is it comes with all the special features. And I saw that if you bought the HD version of a lot of their movies, it's like, it mentions that special features are included. And I thought there would just be like a couple of things, but it was a lot. Like I open up the movie and it's like I put in the disc. It's like, it's got a menu where I can pick, play movie or special features or like settings. It's like having the disc, but you're streaming it. But like all the special features were there. There were like 2 commentary tracks, like a half an hour's worth of deleted scenes.
Yeah, that's all I ever hear from people that collect movies. Is like, well, if you buy them digitally, I don't get all this. And I'm like, yeah, I know.
Yeah, and I like the special features. Like that's why I buy discs a lot of the time, or buy stuff. But yeah, I was pretty jazzed with it. It sounds pretty cool. Like the not having, like, because I read some articles about how some of the studios are wanting them to charge more for 4K, because you buy a 4K disc at Best Buy, it's like $30 depending on what it is.
God damn.
Yeah, and this really, I think, puts it at a good price point.
I forgot how much movies are.
They're expensive. Like the 4K movies are expensive on disc.
Yeah, pretty standard, $25 to $30.
Yeah.
Some of the older movies that they've re-released, I've seen for $20.
Yeah.
I sort of understand the additional cost for. It actually would make more sense for older movies because they have to go pull the film and then do a transfer and convert it to 4K.
Yeah.
Like, god damn, these new movies. I don't know. They should be just doing this stuff as part of their post-production work or whatever. You know,
should just be happy that I'm buying your movie.
Fuck yeah. And they're gonna sell so much more of it. You know, I don't know. It's all bullshit.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's. I remember when DVDs were like, Blu-rays were super expensive compared to DVDs.
Are they cheaper now?
Yeah, they're cheaper now. Yeah, they're cheaper now. They eventually
There's a $5 bin.
Yeah.
Damn, I didn't even
Walmart.
know that.
So Blu-ray $5 bin. So
Blu-ray's the new DVD.
That didn't take long.
I know.
Yeah,
I mean,
I guess it has been 10 years. Holy fuck.
I think DVD is still the market leader, but yeah, I almost look at my DVDs and I'm like, I'll never watch you.
I packed them in a box and Steph got upset and I'm like, did you see what 480p looks like on this TV? Mm-mm.
Yeah, when you met Steph, she was still watching VHS tapes.
Yeah, it's really funny how snobby she is about it now. She's like, that looks blurry. And I'm like, yeah, it does.
When I met you, you were rocking a tube TV and VHS.
I converted.
Yeah, I did the same. But
what's this? That CRT is getting thrown in the garbage.
So what did you think about the iPhone 10, iPhone X?
I thought it was cool. All right. It was cool. I thought it looked nice. I mean, the OLED obviously looks nice. That little bar at the top was a bummer, but I don't really know what they could do about that because they got to have those sensors.
Well, yeah.
But I don't know. It was cool, and I thought about it. I want to be a talking piece of shit. So that's cool. That's worth the price of admission, I think. But it wasn't I don't know. It wasn't something that I was like, man, this is it.
The animated emojis.
Yeah.
Pretty cool. I liked that a lot. I was really impressed.
Yeah. It was nice, and it seems like the facial tracking works really well. I saw a video on The Verge of a guy, he couldn't unlock his phone if his eyes were closed, so it needs very specific things, and that's kind of my thing. Was I heard some of those facial recognitions can be tricked by a photo, but this seems like it takes a 3D scan of your face.
Yeah,
but it probably works really well, but I think it's one of those things where I would be better served just waiting for it to mature a generation.
As I said earlier, it seems like what they're going to do is, at least for this generation, the iPhone 10 is supposed to be kind of the early adopter model.
Yeah, pretty much.
Next year they'll move a lot of that to being the standard iPhone. So I'd expect next year to be no home button. Yeah,
and I'm okay with that. I'm not boo-hooing the home button, but I do think that the fingerprint scanner works really well, and I'm not ready to give that up yet.
Yeah, you know what's really sad? Someone mentioned this on Reddit, and I think it does make sense. There are probably going to be more car accidents, and probably people will die because they can't unlock their phone quickly with a finger or something.
Yeah.
They're going to try to use the stupid facial fucking unlock, and they're going to have to hold the phone right in front of their face.
I mean...
We can hear Sonic, somebody, by the way.
Yeah, I got Sonic going.
Yeah!
I mean, that shit's gonna happen. I've seen people driving their... They're driving their...
Is that Sonic Mania? Is that Sonic Mania?
Yeah, it's Sonic Mania.
Fuck yeah.
They're driving their cars and fucking watching TV shows on. They put their phone near their speedometer, and they're fucking driving and watching shit on their phone. It's come on, guys.
There will always be something stupid.
Yeah, just drive.
People do things.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you could still tap in your password or whatever, your PIN number. But I'm sure some idiot will try to do the facial unlock while driving.
You can just talk to Siri.
You know what's funny? I feel like Dava, when you were getting a new phone, you were really really pro iPhone, and now you're all like iPhones for hipsters, blah blah blah.
But I was saying
Yeah.
I was saying that prior anyway. I've said that for years.
Yeah.
I just want a phone that fucking works and not pay a fucking stupid ass premium, which is what Apple does. Here you go. Oh, you want a headphone jack? Yeah, I'd pay for that. Oh, USB connector? Yeah, you pay for that too.
You don't have to pay for the headphone jack. They give you the adapter in the box.
Oh, whatever. I don't want to wear fucking fancy ass headphones at work. My work is like shitty and rough.
Well, no, I mean like they give you.
I would break them things.
They're not fancy. They give you like a headphone jack to.
What if they can just put one in there?
They put it in the box.
Whatever.
The adapter does come in the box, but you know it's kind of I guess the idea if you lose it or something, you have to buy a new one.
Yeah, if you lose it, it's a bummer. But
and then you can't charge while listening to headphones.
I get people's gripes about it. Like, I don't. I'm using headphones right now, but I use headphones at work. But I just bought some cheap Bluetooth headphones.
I think it's a little hypocritical of people to bitch about the $999 price tag.
I'm a hypocrite. Before you even say it, I'm a hypocrite. I know I'm a hypocrite.
This is not you, but this is all over.
We knew that going in.
This is all over the coverage, all over the tech sites, and even I watched local news talking about the Apple event, and they're like, I don't know, that $990 price tag, that's crazy. But it's like, dude, if you're buying a new iPhone, you're paying $750 or $650. It's not cheap that way, really, either.
Yeah. No, I mean, the 256 iPhone 8 Plus is over $1,000.
Yeah, that's crazy.
They're expensive. Like, phones aren't cheap. It's like there's a lot of work and technology that goes into them. No phones are cheap. Like, if you want a cheap phone, there are cheap phones.
So I will say this, though. Man, I really like the Apple Watch, and I kind of like the idea of being in the Apple ecosystem, but they're making it less and less attractive every year by taking stuff away. I mean, my Galaxy phone, like you talked about, the divot at the top of the new iPhone. The Galaxy phone, the way they did that was they just compromised and added on a small bezel at the top that has an iris scanner. Like, it's got 4 or 5 sensors in there, and it's totally out of sight. It's got an iris scanner, front camera, face detection, all kinds of shit.
I think they were trying to like go like fully, fully borderless, but just give me a border. I don't give a shit.
Also, the Essential phone, if you have not seen that, it's kind of it's the same concept, but even more so. It's got a cutout, but it's only around the camera at the top. I don't really know where the rest of the sensors are, but it's pretty interesting looking.
Like, I'll say I really like Apple's design. I think their designs are always really good. Their products just work. You know, like I've had Android phones, and I just get tired of messing with it, and I just want something that works.
That was also years ago.
That was the dark ages.
That was the dark. It was bad.
I think we're just now to the point where Android phones are pretty usable. I mean, it was bad for a long time.
Well, what got me most about Android was that my phone was always 2 versions of Android out of date.
Yeah,
that sucked. But anyway,
that makes no sense. But yeah,
like
Google's finally getting on board, and I mean they've realized they can't fix that problem, so they're having to make their own fucking phone.
Yeah,
that's how bad
it's like. You either need to buy the Google phone or a Samsung phone.
And the Samsung phone, you'll not be up to date. I mean, my phone, they've already put out the new version of Android, and it's not going to come
to or something.
It's definitely not coming to the S8. Just give up on that. I've actually gotten a handful of updates, which is nice, but I'm not going to get the major feature updates. They want me to buy a new phone to get the current version of Android. So
yeah, well, yeah, I guess
that's kind of bullshit.
To continue, like, I like it because it works and I like the style, but I'll be first to say that it's not cheap. It's not cheap, and like it comes with a lot of like kind of bullshit. Like a lot of their language is really like I don't know, self-serving.
There's a lot of puffery, just like it kind of reminds me of it reminds me of Donald Trump, the way they talk. They're like, our customers have been so happy with the Apple Watch, and they're going to be even happier with the newest version. It's like they're willing.
They're a little more verbose than Trump is, but like, yeah, it's like,
yeah, and they're a business too. So
and it's like, I guess, I can't remember what they were talking about, but like, they were talking about the Apple Store, where it's like, they're not stores, they're town halls. And blah, 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 blah. And I was like, and I get it. Like, there's like an ethos and stuff when you go into an Apple store. It's different than going into fucking Micro Center or something. But I'm like, let's get it real. You're selling stuff. Like, you're here to sell me things.
Yeah, definitely. Well, so did you have any interest in any of the augmented reality stuff they showed off? Like the gaming or anything?
I didn't see anything on that. I had to go to a doctor's appointment, so I had to leave like right when they announced the 8.
Yeah, they didn't show a whole lot, but it's fascinating. They showed one. They brought out a game developer to show this AR game. It looked cool, so it's something to look out for.
It looks neat. Yeah, I saw a little bit on. I go to this website called MacRumors.com. I don't work for them or anything.
Oh yeah, I go there too.
I saw something like a video posted on it. It looks pretty neat. I think it's like coming with the next update.
Well, so you'll have to let us know how the new iPhone is when you get it in, and I'm sure you'll have no complaints with the Apple TV. That sounds really great. I'm looking for a new streaming device, and that's awfully tempting. But man, all I hope is that maybe that price cut on their digital versions of 4K will lead to lower physical prices.
Hopefully.
How much is that new Apple TV?
170 something for the 30 gig.
It's not bad. It's really not bad.
For me, but I'm also not. I don't have a real career, so.
If you look at standalone streaming 4K boxes, they're around $100.
The Roku, like the Ultra Roku or whatever that does the 4K business, is like, it's about
that's all streaming though, isn't it?
Yeah, it's all streaming.
Like, you'd actually download these 4K videos, right? Or is it streaming?
It's streaming.
So can you download 4K movies?
The Apple TV's still streaming?
Yeah, it's still streaming. Like, so you buy it. You buy it from the
streaming doesn't look that good I don't know. It might be my network. But
I haven't got 4K, but like in 1080p, Baby Driver looked great last night. Like,
but that's 1080p though.
Like, I doubt.
What's I'm saying? Like, it'll stream in 4K.
But I doubt it will look as good as like a physical disc.
Well, no, it won't. But I mean, will you be?
I thought you could actually download the actual digital version of the movie. So it's just.
I thought so too.
Yeah, no, that doesn't. That sounds that I'm good.
Well, you can just buy the disc then.
No, I just won't buy it at all.
There you go.
Because I don't watch.
What do you care?
I don't watch too many movies anyway. I'd like to, but it's too expensive.
Yeah, so like it's so you buy it from the. Or at least I don't think you download it.
That'd be cool though.
I mean, streaming it, like it'll buffer, but like you know what I mean.
You
like,
still get artifacts and stuff.
No, I mean I didn't. Notice, even in my 1080p movie last night, I didn't notice any artifacts.
Good job, Apple, because Netflix sure does blow if they're 4K stuff.
I see compression and blurring around edges sometimes, but
I guess
I don't know.
Like, see, the only movie I've really watched in 4K, I bought Pineapple Express off of Amazon because like when I first got my TV, I was really wanted to build a digital library, and like I was trying to commit to. I didn't want to spend a bunch of money on all these different ecosystems. I was trying to find one that really fit. And Amazon's was dog shit, and like it's really hard to find what's available. And I bought Pineapple Express because it was the one movie in 4K that like I would actually want to watch that they had.
That's all they had. I mean, I'm not saying that movie's bad.
They didn't have very many movies. That was like the disappointing part. They had like a handful of movies, and it wasn't. You couldn't go to Amazon and then hit like 4K video. There was no like direct way to get there. It was kind of like a roundabout way. I ended up just getting there through Google, but it was okay. That one wasn't good. I didn't like Voodoo either very much. I think that's Walmart's thing.
Is that the one? I'm trying to. Yeah, I think there's an app on my TV from them.
Yeah. They put their apps on the TV and stuff, and then I was like, well, I'll try on the console, and then I found out that Sony doesn't sell 4K content on PSN.
Why?
Why? You guys have a 4K.
It's fucking Sony.
You have a 4K device.
All right, let's start talking shit on Sony. No, I'm
4K
kidding.
4K device, no 4K Blu-ray player, no 4K video. But they're all about streaming. They like went hard on streaming, but you can't stream movies from there.
Wait, so
and the best part, Sony owns a fucking movie studio.
Yeah,
and yet they don't have their 4K movies out.
I'll be able to buy 4K Sony movies from Apple, but not on the PS4. And like I just don't like navigating the Xbox.
I don't know.
So I was like, well, I really like navigating this Apple TV. So then I was checking Mac Rumors like almost every night to see if there was any news on a 4K Apple TV because people have been waiting. And then they fucking announced it. So it looks like they make the guesswork pretty easy.
Well, that's the Apple hour, I guess.
Yeah.
We got Davo. You got work to do, buddy.
I'll just play while it's not the end of the world. I usually take mental notes and again, so I'll be good.
Well, there's not too much else to cover this week. I thought this was kind of funny. There's basically everybody's rushing to kind of copy the Battle Royale game format. Grand Theft Auto now has a Battle Royale mode, which I think it's more car-based, though. Like, there's cars outfitted with different weapons. Everybody's trying to get the different cars, which that's at least a kind of different take on it. Mm-hmm. There's also Fortnite has a Battle Royale mode. And I think that I might be out. I'm not sure. I'm not too impressed with Fortnite. That's the base building game from Epic, but it seems like they've got a strong fan base. Also in online gaming news, Ghost Recon Wildlands will have a PvP mode finally, and they're doing an open beta for everyone. So regardless of if you own the game or not, because the game is already out, but they're doing a beta for the multiplayer mode. And cool. That was a fun game when we played it co-op. I thought the shooting mechanics and everything like that were too easy. So
Fortnite?
I'm curious to see how that goes. No, that was Ghost Recon.
Oh, Ghost Recon. Okay. Sorry.
Yeah, they have
the delivery driver called about my food. So.
Oh, that's okay. Also, in the world of online gaming, Magic the Gathering is basically copying Hearthstone altogether and making an arena mode. Making it more appealing to streaming and watching it. So it looks just like Hearthstone, but Magic.
I'll be honest, I really like those Duels of the Planeswalker games. So I'd be interested.
Yeah, it looks just like the play area for Hearthstone. The cards kind of look like it, and when you play a card, there's animations and stuff. So
they'll have to get in line behind the Dota 2 Hearthstone copycat game.
Oh yeah,
that's right.
Well, so what about the? I don't get the 1070 Ti at all.
I don't know. I think they're just trying to cash in because graphics cards are popular right now. There's rumors that there's going to be a 1070 Ti.
It's not like the 1080's a lot faster. I don't know. It's a little weird.
I don't know.
It'd be cool if it dropped the prices of the normal 1070s, but whatever.
And then on the last big topic, and this is another topic full of, I guess, some debate, but PewDiePie can't stay out of the news because he's a jackass. He dropped the N-bomb in a stream recently playing PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds. Just straight up called somebody the hard R because he was pissed.
Why not? Why not? I'll be honest. That video's funny because you can tell after he said it, he's just like, "Oh no."
Yeah, it was very subtle, but you could tell he just he didn't really address it right away. But
he was just like, pretend they didn't hear it.
Yeah. Oh man, what a dummy. I mean, he's stupid for just, I guess, being a racist, first of all, but
did you listen to the apology or read it or whatever? I don't know.
Yeah, I did, and I just read the comments on Reddit, and everybody's like, "Wow, I can't believe that was such a mature apology from him." I'm like, it didn't really seem that heartfelt or sincere to me.
No, it just sounded like, "Hey, I'm making a lot of money. Fuck off."
He's just like, guys, it was stupid of me. I can't believe I said it. That's the worst thing I could say. I was angry, but that's no excuse. I have no excuse. That was that. Like, okay, all right.
Like he's not talking about like, I don't know. It don't matter. He's an idiot.
He's not out there donating money to some, charity for minorities. He's not, like, you want to be sincere, do something about it, man. Like, all he does is just keep fucking doing racist shit. So, on the flip side of that, though, there was a little bit of a story that came out where the developer of Firewatch, I guess, upset because of what, PewDiePie had said, decided to file a copyright claim against a video that featured Firewatch that PewDiePie made. So it kind of raises the ethical issue. Is that okay to do? All these indie developers were getting together and saying, well, now let's pull our, content of our game that he's using to punish him. It's just like a really weird thing where, yeah, they could probably pull it anyway, regardless.
I think so. I mean, it's theirs. It's their content.
And what's funny is people are slamming them on Steam now. They've got like negative reviews because people don't think they should be able to do that. And I'm like, it's their fucking game.
It's their game.
I don't know, dude. Like, I've started to really notice, like, it's more in the PC realm, but like, do racist people like the PC gamer? That's
it is.
That's a dumb question, but it seems like it's worse. Did you see the Destiny thing where somebody had like the 4chan white power type thing?
Oh yeah. Well, they inadvertently like worked in a white supremacist symbol into their gauntlet, and then someone noticed it, and they're like, "Oh, they just pulled it." They just got rid of it.
Hopefully that fucking dude got fired.
But so about the PewDiePie thing, like, they're the content creators. They can do what that's the thing about all this streaming, is that at the end of the day, those people, they're just cracking jokes while they're playing a game. I don't think they have a good case for like a fair use. They're usually not doing much commentary. So a lot of the creators are kind of, I think, just letting them do it because it's good publicity. Like, it works both ways. But if you're like PewDiePie and you're spouting racist, hate speech, basically by doing nothing, they're complicit basically. Like, they're like, okay, we have this person who does what he does, and we're letting him play our game on the stream.
We're letting him play our video game. It's a fucking video game.
But I mean, it's like they hold all the power. They're letting him do it.
The only issues I have is, and I think, yeah, they definitely do, and I think that they could do this for anybody. It's streaming has always boggled my mind that people can make careers just playing somebody else's game and broadcasting it and make all this money.
That's the thing. It's built on such fragile earth that, like, it would take one precedent. It would take one legal decision to cause that entire economy to come crumbling down, because it's based upon using other people's creative work.
The funny thing is, I don't think this really like makes the Firewatch devs to me seem like good guys or like good for them. It's just like I don't know. It didn't affect my opinion either way. You know,
I mean,
it's not like I was gonna be like, man, fuck Firewatch. I'm not playing that because PewDiePie played it 3 years ago.
It shouldn't.
Racist people play video games all the time. I'm sure in the privacy of their own home.
Yeah,
of course, this guy's making a ton of money from it.
Yeah, but this guy has like 57 million followers. He's like a prolific YouTube person. And I mean,
it's not like he said anything racist playing Firewatch, though, or he wasn't a dickhead playing Firewatch, I would hope. Otherwise, they would have pulled it a long time ago.
I'm sure he was annoying while playing Firewatch.
I mean, I don't think that like their action should make you like them or dislike them. It's not. It was their decision, you know. It's their work. It's their decision about what they want to do with it. And they didn't want him because like when people watch that video, it's 3 years old, but if someone watches it, he still gets money off of it.
It's true, yeah. The only other thing about it is it seems anytime this happens all the time with all these people who are racist online, and then people take action, then they get upset and they claim it's censorship. And the only reason why I think it appeals to the common person who may not be so much a racist, but you know, they say, well, it feels very arbitrary, you know, and so some people feel like, well, you know, I would hate to have an opinion that differs from a video game publisher, and then now they're taking away my permission to maybe play their game. Maybe that's going to happen where there's a license agreement, the end user license agreement. It's like, well, you can never say anything. You know, like what if he had just played this game in the privacy of his own home? And they're like, well, we're canceling your Steam account because you're a racist, you know?
I mean, they can do that anyway in the EULA.
They can.
We don't own
They definitely
games.
can.
We just buy a lease to play them.
Yeah, that's all it is it highlights the bigger issue of just like, man, it sucks that we're licensing everything because at some point we piss somebody off or somebody changes their mind. Granted, like, what if you know, like
they would have to come get my Super Mario Brothers cart from me if they didn't want me to play that anymore. But like in the legal part of the document, it's like they have the right to do that if they want to. It's not my game.
Remember when everybody was mad at Microsoft for basically putting in their agreement that they could just remotely brick your Xbox if you violate the user agreement? That pissed a lot of people off. So I don't know, like it kind of is a similar issue, but it's definitely not the same issue. I also feel like the Overwatch devs were pretty much like saying like, yeah, you can use this for streaming. And then I don't know if they ever said like, well, we can pull this. I don't know. I think there's some issues to argue there, but at the end of the day, PewDiePie is a dick, and
he's a repeat offender. Like he's done this several times,
and that's where you learn the true character of someone.
Yeah,
you know, if you make a mistake, fine. You know, of course, I don't think he really was excusable in his past issues either.
Yeah.
It wasn't like he let something slip or said a bad word before he actually put a lot of planning and doing his racist shit.
Yeah.
So,
and I think it can be said like you can't choose the people who play your games. Obviously, all kinds of people with all kinds of beliefs play video games. But I think this is where they could take action, them being Campo Santo. They could take action in that they allowed people to stream this game, and this is like the one area where they could, you know, say this isn't okay specifically to this guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And you know, I think that I will say I think they made the right decision because, you know, this guy has a platform and this guy has a very lucrative career because he can play all of these games. You know, and by playing all these games, he has the platform to say this shit. And there's a lot of kids, you know, watching this stuff. And there's a lot of people online who are just immature in general, and that's the way they talk. They act like racist. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of fucking anonymous racism online, you know. And that anonymous racism turns into real racism at some point. So
you got to ask, like, people were like, well, he just said it because he was angry. And it's like, if that's where you go whenever you're angry, there's some other issues there,
I think that shows you what you associate that group of people with.
Exactly. It's like, and then he tried to cover it up by saying, well, he's just being an asshole. It's like, okay, so now these two things are synonymous with each other. It's like, you just own up to it. You have this platform, right? Just own up to what you did. And obviously you're not remorseful about what you did if you just, like I think in the past he said, oh, it's for comedy. I was a comedian whenever he like paid those people to hold the sign that said "Death to Jews," or though he paid like.
That was so bad.
Yeah,
it's not even clever.
It's not even funny. Like it's not funny.
Yeah, I don't know why all of these guys on the alt-right want to be comedians.
Yeah, because they're not funny.
Like you're not funny. You just sound like a fucking racist, dude.
You know that guy, Patton Oswalt on Twitter had a joke like that. A lot of the people in alt-right are just failed comedians.
Yeah.
Like that guy that was on a Vice special, he ended up like, I think having to go to jail or something. They interviewed him around the time of the Charleston demonstrations. And turns out he was a failed libertarian comedian.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's a fine line between comedian and social commentarian or whatever commentator. George Carlin had a lot of social commentary. But if you're gonna be a comedian who's making a lot of commentary on society, you should also be funny and not just be punching down or whatever.
You have to have a take that's interesting and obviously funny. You can't just go up there and say a bunch of racial epithets and then be like, right, guys?
It's funny because it's true, right? Yeah. Like, well, no one actually agrees that that's true. So,
but it's kind of like you kind of mentioned it before. I think part of the reason why I don't like playing online games is because it is so toxic, and it's becoming like it seems like it's just getting worse,
Dude. So, and in Heroes of the Storm, they have a general chat room just like they would in World of Warcraft or something, like a lobby chat. Wow, so much racism. It's absurd. It's crazy. I was following this one streamer who would stream a lot of like him walking around doing in real life things that they call it IRL streaming. And there were some of the people making racist jokes, and it was just like, it's a lot of kids. Like, for one, I don't think I'm in that demographic, but it was an entertaining stream, and like the guy has some kind of charisma or something. But over time, his fan base has just been just so brutally racist that I just can't be there anymore. I just I unsubscribed. That's how I got into Discord, because there was a Discord channel. And so the Discord channel is just full of racist shit, like nonstop. It's just edgelords being funny,
Yeah.
And I'm like, I can't do it, dude. Like, I just can't fucking be around these people. It's just sad that kids are just being such racist assholes online to be funny.
Yeah.
Just to be funny and get some upvotes or whatever. But
just
anyhow,
hiding behind the anonymity of being on the internet.
Which, there's some benefit to being anonymous online, but you shouldn't abuse it.
Yeah.
Because who knows, that right might be taken away someday.
Yeah. I mean, there's a proposed law in Illinois to make it illegal to wear a mask to any kind of public protest.
Oh, no. I'll let the guys know.
Yeah. I don't think that law's going to pass. But anyway. Well, that's about all the gaming news that I had for this week. Anything else you guys had on your mind to cover this week?
No.
Sorry, I'm also paying attention to this game. I'm testing and trying to juggle.
Oh, that's cool.
Well, I'm going to check out some PUBG And we'll see you next week.
See ya.
See you, dudes.
See you later, guys.